Kelly Miller to Ridley. Back to Miller. Miller has it tied up in his skate. A little bit of a knot under the eye. Got hit by a stick. We've got a fight going here in the Washington as well.
They've got two tough guys going at it. Alan May and Craig Berube trying to get their arms free. Alan May trying with his right and his left. Berube, both guys can swing with both arms.
And Alan May getting that left hand free, and he landed a couple, but now Beaupre comes back. Or rather, Berube comes back. They'll sort this one up.
And that type of situation right off the bat, 2 minutes into this game, might suggest we're going to have a few hits, a few fisticuffs during this type of game. Both teams trying to set up something, trying to play with confidence, showing their teammates, each team showing their other fellow teammates that they're going to play tough tonight.
Face off to Beaupre's left. From the draw, Flyers control. Here's a shot towards the net. It goes wide, tied up on the side now. Iafrate and Kushner. Gets this up. We could have another battle down here. Not too many punches thrown, Craig.
Well, Iafrate trying to get at Dale Kushner. He's one of the little pesky guys for the Philadelphia Flyers. And then all the Flyers came in. They're all huddled behind the net, behind Beaupre.
Now we played 2 minutes and 7 seconds. And these teams letting one another know how they feel. The other game, and then fires a shot. Beaupre gets a piece of it. It's off to the corner. Oscar takes a hit from Kordic, and we've got a penalty here now as Cardner comes in late. He and Kordic will go. Cardner and Kordic.
Well, Jeff, John Kordic really caught Cardner with his left hand and knocked Cardner back on his toes. There's going to be two tired big guys out there. Cardner, big defenseman for the Flyers, and John Kordic really roughing up, getting involved, doing his job out there. How the play starts. John Kordic coming in from covering the right point, knocking down Hostak, and then Cardner comes in from his defensive play, and John Kordic, as soon as he gets hit, Cardner having trouble on his standing on his skates, tumbles a little bit, falling backward. Then they square off. Cardner trying to get a left, but John Kordic very efficient with his left hand, and a lot of guys don't know that he can really throw that left hand like a jackhammer. He hit Cardner with a few shots.
Wow, they'll sort this one out. Hextall giving Bruce a little bit of stick. As Atkins feeds to Murphy. What a hit there by Tatarnoff, and it's called for elbowing by Koharski.
And Mikhail Tatarnoff really throwing around his weight. He's caught a couple of guys, a couple of the Flyers coming up through the neutral zone. The reason why he's getting the penalty, I think Koharski thought that he jumped up and caught the defenseman with his hand and his elbow.
Hextall clears it ahead. Sutter now on the backhand inside a dump. Now it's Derek Smith who's stood up.
And also Kevin Hatcher standing up, but the penalty goes to Alan May, coming from his off wing, coming right across. Koharski gets him with a charging penalty.
For Berube. It's Iafrate that has it for Washington. Loses his edge. Back on his feet. Berube throws a check into Cicerelli, then tries to dump him. Cicerelli goes right back after him. Berube with a cross check to the face of Cicerelli. Play goes right on. Here's a break for Ridley, and play is whistled down.
Koharski's blowing the whistle because there's a fight going on between Kushner and Ken Sabourin, the defenseman for the Washington Capitals, right next to the penalty box. Ken Sabourin, when he saw Dino Cicerelli in trouble, came quickly over to push around with Dale Kushner and push around with Craig Berube.
Kushner and Sabourin still tangled up. separated by Brassiker and linesman Brian Murphy. And it'll be interesting to see how Koharski sees this one.
Big Ken Sabourin on the way to the penalty box. Gave Keith Acton a little poke with his shoulder, and Keith Acton, a big dive, fell on his back at the Flyer blue line.
Trying to settle this one and sort out the penalty.
And a lot of heavy hitting this afternoon. Craig Berube bumps with Dino Cicerelli. Dino Cicerelli gives him a push. Then Dino Cicerelli gets up, but then he hits him with a two-handed cross-check. Berube, and then Dino right in the middle of things. And then Iafrate comes in, Kenny Sabourin comes in, really working as a team out there on the ice. At the start of the broadcast, Jeff, I said it was going to be a rough one. I think it started out off pretty rough already.
You must have seen the script before the game. Working it here on the near side for Cordick. Cordick, lead pass for Tippett. He takes a hit from Samuelson. Kiprios in over the line. Lets one go. Hextall steers it aside. Then races right after the rebound. Cordick steps into Samuelson with a heavy check. Acton now. Tied up by May. Berube carries it in. Offside the call. Now Acton and May having a few words. Acton with a little shove.
And Acton, the type of player that likes to try to make you take a penalty.
He'll touch. Icing the call. 15:24 left to go here in the second period. Michael Kutarnov for the Caps now. Leads ahead. Berglund couldn't control. Pavaka. Play whistle down. And some penalties upcoming here.
Try to get it up, and it just does hit Hextall's left hand.
Bendis takes a check along the boards from Waller.
Dale Hunter really crunching some defensemen. Follows the puck, waits till he passes it, and then drills Fenvis behind the net. The Capitals waiting for them. Even when they get rid of the puck, you're allowed a couple of seconds in there to finish your check, and Dale Hunter's finishing his checks all over the ice tonight.
Also finishing his shift by skating over to the bench and having a few words with some of the Flyers. No love lost between these two teams. Through traffic in front, backhanded by Smith once, twice, and Beaupre holds on. All the save, steered to the corner. Cicerelli takes a hit and an elbow from Murphy. Throws it on the wing for Kiprios. Kiprios misses a check from Sutter. Iafrate with a gun, scores! And Iafrate. Christian trying to go around Murphy and does with one hand, looking short side. Oh, what a hit on Murphy. Behind the net. And Murphy is down.
Dale Hunter came flying in, caught him off balance. Ricci quickly jumps on Hunter, and Paul Holmgren yelling at Terry Murray at the bench. Now snapping the stick over the glass, talking to Stan Wong, Terry Murray, talking to some of the players for the Caps. He's really upset. He's going right down to the end of the bench. Hextall up, all the Flyers out. Holmgren up on the bench, trying to yell at the linesman and the referee and at Dale Hunter.
Well, Holmgren trying to get his hockey club into the game here, trailing 5-1, and Murphy is still down.
And Alan May and Murray Craven now pushing with each other.
Caps team captain Kelly Miller comes off the bench, and he'll join the conversation with referee Don Koharski as we got to look at Holmgren, who's not giving up that hockey stick.
Looks like he's ready to come out and play, Jeff.
Holmgren's in pretty good shape. He probably could. Murphy. Alan May having some work.
Melanie quickly jumps in. Paul Holmgren having some words with Alan May as he passed the bench, and Alan May now getting a hold of Melanie. Melanie underneath Alan May. Both being wrestled down by the linesman.
Well, I've got a feeling this one is far from over.
The thing about this, they've got Alan May, but then they've got another tough hombre on the bench waiting to come out in John Cordick.
Alan May making his way back to the Washington Capitals dressing room. Holmgren has dropped the stick, still pacing behind the Flyers bench. He's trying to get his club going here, Fred.
Murphy, a little bit dazed, getting up and going to the bench. And Kriskich trying to go around Murray, gets a shot on Pete Peters. Then Murray looking at his feet, not watching Dale Hunter coming in. And Dale Hunter gets his elbow up and catches him right in his face. Then Mike Ricci jumps on top of Dale Hunter. But Murphy, with his head down, trying to find that puck in his skates. And at the last minute, you just see his eyes coming up. But then Dale Hunter's right on him to give him the elbow.
Look at Ron Hextall at the end of the Flyer bench, being taunted by the fans. Still have 14:50 left to go. Some of the event staff now making their way down. The young lady there actually having a few words there for Hextall. I don't think she wants to challenge the Flyer goaltender. Well, we said this one would have
talking to Alan May as he's going, calling him a few names, yelling at him, saying, let's go. He wants to talk to him. Then all of a sudden his player comes in. Mellanby comes quickly over towards the bench and grabs Alan May. They both push and shove. Nobody really landing many punches in that bout. But now Mellanby escorted to the Flyer dressing room.
Once again.
I don't think he's wishing him happy Valentine's Day, Jeff. He's very upset.
Well, Mellanby taking the cue there, Craig, from his coach.
He sure is. He stepped right in for Coach Holmgren and grabbed Alan May. But Alan May going right along that bench, I'm sure having a few words with the Flyers.
Now, I might add that Holmgren and Terry Murray had words. They're former teammates and very good friends. Sabourin, cross-check by Acton. Not once, but twice, Iafrate throwing him down. Sabourin wants at Acton. Or Acton at Sabourin, and Keith Acton, certainly the aggressor there. Let's see what the calls are. 9:50 left to go. And it's the Capitals back on the power play now for the next 26 seconds.
Dale Hunter having a few words with the bench of the Flyers. Paul Holmgren talking to him. He's motioning to him when he was in the penalty box. I'm sure he's going to have a few words from when Dale Hunter's on the bench.
Dropped into the corner. Kushner behind the net. Beaupre run by, was he run by Berube?
Yes, he was. And you know, John Cordick immediately came on the ice for the Capitals. You know, Berube was out there to do one thing, to get involved and get some sort of cheap shot against the Caps to try to stir the pot. And he nailed Beaupre from behind.
Kushner and Lawler go.
Mike Lawler getting his right hand free. Kushner just hitting him in the back of the head a little bit. His helmet's off. Kushner getting his right hand free. Dave Fenslick trying to grab into the pile, trying to grab away Ken Sabourin. They're getting pulled aside. Now Iafrate involved. Dave Tippett, John Cordick.
Berube's at the bottom of the pile. One of the Capitals has him pinned. But you're right, Craig. There was no question what Berube was going to do once he stepped onto the ice. And now Terry Murray's got a few words over at the Capitals bench for Paul Holmgren, who's now back on his feet.
Now the coach is having a few words at the bench, and some more skirmishes starting behind the net. John Cordick wanting to get in there, trying to get Berube, and he gets his left hand free, trying to get shots. Now Kiprios really giving it to Dale Kushner. Kushner tired, and Kiprios really hitting him with about force. Kushner just got out of another fight, and now Kiprios with his left hand from his net, coming into the pile also, trying to grab Beaupre. And the referee just standing there with a pen and a piece of paper, writing down all the infractions that are taking place behind the Capitals net.
Don Koharski might need some additional paper before this one's through. Kypreos now being escorted to the Capitals dressing room, as is Kushner. Here goes Iafredi.
Iafredi and Barron teeing up. Al Iafredi got his sweater loose, and Al Iafredi going to be loose without the equipment on, trying to get Barron. Nobody wants to make that first move. You don't want to fall into a punch. Iafredi waiting for Barron to come at him.
Well, Barron gets the first two in.
He's cut over his left eye.
Iafredi leaves the ice. Barron for the Flyers. And Koharski still there with the pad. Terry Murray, Nick Kypreos.
Look at the blood on Nick Kypreos' sweater. Somebody's blood in the pileup. Somebody bleeding a little bit. Gets all over Nick Kypreos' sweater.
Pete Peter. Takes over to the end of the bench. A little Gatorade there. And a long afternoon becomes longer with this one.
And Pete Peters, I wasn't sure why he threw off his mask. If I was him, I would have went in there with my mask on. But there's definitely going to be some game misconducts here with third man in.
Keith Acton now going over and yapping at the Washington bench.
Talking to Terry Murray behind the Capitals bench.
At how this all began behind the Washington net.
And Don Beaupre trying to play the puck. Keith Acton in, and Berube comes flying in from nowhere. His first shift in the period, hasn't played much. Don Beaupre gives him a couple of elbows and a couple of blockers to the head. And Don Beaupre wants to get at him for getting the hit. As soon as that took place, Holmgren quickly got up on the bench and started talking through the glass to Terry Murray, and he's saying, come over here. They're both saying, come over here. Emotions are very high. This is a big hockey game for the Washington Capitals.
And again, I want to reiterate something I said earlier. Those two guys are good friends.
And now Nick Kypreos gets Dale Kushner. Kushner in a couple of bouts tonight, a little bit weary, and he really gets some good shots in at Dale Kushner. Barron then comes in and jumps on Kypreos, tries to get him a shot, so he's automatically out of the game for third man in. Al Iafredi trying to also get involved. They then got up, and Kypreos really, Dale Kushner very tired. He got his left hand loose and really gave it to him. And Beaupre being pulled from the pack by Pete Peters, grabbing his mask, ripping his mask off, then ripping it, trying to get his sweater, pushing him around a little bit behind the net.
I never knew Peters was so aggressive. He's ready for action.
He's got the Beaupre mask on.
Still say he looks like you. Something going on in the end, just below the press box. Ken Hitchcock now, the Flyers assistant coach, has his jacket on.
He's got a couple of the Flyers that are sitting out tonight.
Rick Tocchet is there. Jeff Chikrin is there. And Ken Hitchcock looks a little upset.
Well, he's got two pretty tough guys with him, Jeff, in Chickering and Talkin.
Kevin Hatcher and Cardner. Here we go.
Two big guys going at it. Cardner looking to try to get into a fight. He knows the game's over. He wants to try to get in a fight, and he's getting the worst of it there from Kevin Hatcher getting a couple of shots in. But he's going to get the initial penalty for cross-checking Kevin Hatcher from behind. He's out on the ice for one thing, and that was to start something with one of the Capitals players.
Well, there goes the first star of the hockey game. As far as I'm concerned, we're picking the stars, and we just lost them.
Washington number 4, Kevin Hatcher, 5 minutes for fighting.
And Cardner, he's a defenseman, but he's trying to get something stirred up in the Capital zone, and he hits Kevin Hatcher from behind. And Kevin Hatcher knew when he was ready to stand up that Cardner wanted to go and wanted to fight. So Kevin Hatcher, on the way up, he quickly dropped his gloves because he knew Cardner standing there was looking for that type of fracas to start.